Okay, so happy Friday, you guys. I guess I'm gonna start over because I accidentally hit the keyboard and it turned the last video off, so I won't post that video. That happens a lot of times too. Like a message will be wanting to come out, and then something will be messing up. Again, it's like dealing with that good and evil and within the world. Uh, we're talking about numbers here. How a lot of times when you're having awakenings, you'll wake up at certain times and see what the universal message is behind that number. A lot of times during awakenings, you'll wake up at 111, 222. 222 is a strong number for a wake up call. But lady with the botched egg, somebody's been holding on too tightly. This is a person whose thoughts keep them up at night. See this dark tower. They went through a tower moment. They're trying to balance out the scales. You know, they're looking to see if their ships are finally going to come rolling in or not. She's holding on. Somebody's been really rotten, and she don't know whether to let this egg go or, to keep holding on to it, trying to bring life to a dead situation. But this is using your ancient wisdom. So calling on your Akashic records, your spirit guides, those elderlies that are in your family that, they went and lead you the wrong way. They went mislead you. Those you trust. It's always important to have somebody that you can talk to, that you trust. A lot of times there's those self-help numbers out there that you can call, and sometimes you'd be amazed how talking to a stranger, will benefit your life in those type of ways. We don't like to talk about it, but there are those things that hang over our head all day long, and we don't even like to use the word hang anymore because so many people have committed self-murder because using those tools. But again, like, we always have to be careful of what we say. We have to be in consideration of other people's feelings. Okay, so especially if those type of things are in your family, like suicide, murder, if that's happened to you, because not everybody lives perfect lives, okay? And again, like as soon as I said that, Death in the Maiden came out. It said invasion, boundaries violated, and now there's dominance in this situation. So Death in the Maiden, when you see Maiden, you could be dealing with the Virgo. We also have the Fairy of the Highlands. It's time to be brave. Again, with seeing the sword, you could be dealing with the air element as well too. Your Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. You have the numbers here, 20, 28, and 31. 28 stands out really strong because that's also a number, and I believe 82 is also an infantry, a type of military service. Okay, 31, this person could be 31. And when I see the 20, it makes me feel like something happened in 2020. Maybe you guys brought this relationship together and now it's been a couple of years and it's not really where you see the picture or how you want it to be. And you're holding on to something that's not bringing joy to your life, that's not bringing happiness to your life. So again, being the maiden that you are, you always feel like you have a greater purpose to serve, or maybe you are in the business of service, whether that's in the food industry, human resources. There's so many things that provide services to others to make them feel better. We were just talking about those 800 numbers. Again, like that could be like, it's amazing how when you just talk to it, when you meet a new person and how they'll just change, your fascination on the world. And, again, but this person kind of like just stripped you naked. Like they probably could be gaslighting you. They could be ghosting you. Like they're sucking the energy from you. I feel like it's somebody who's been holding on too long, not to a person that they lost, but to like the skeletons in their closet, and setting those boundaries. Those boundaries are so important because sometimes we can find ourselves, facing enemies and facing opposition, and sometimes we can even be our own worst enemy. So again, this is like, okay, so this might be somebody who's into death metal too. I feel like it's some type of like emo trap or trap music. That could be a possibility here as well too. But again, I feel like you're giving in too many ties to the relationship, and you're trying to figure out whether you're going to cut this relationship or not. But a lot of times what happens is when we separate from a person, we have to really learn about ourselves, and that can be rocky as well too, because when you trying to figure yourself out, sometimes when you do figure yourself out, I'm gonna turn spirit speaker on just to kind of back us up, give us an extra lens here. But yeah, I just turn. Let's just go with that. Okay. At the bottom here is pink lotus. So again, inviting the fairies, inviting those things that bring that happiness to your life. It's a time for spirit. So again, like learning like about yourself. I don't want you to feel discouraged when I say when you're getting to know yourself, because that's you got to. I mean, that's the only you have the life that you live. Like you have to be the best version of yourself. So sometimes we counter those parts of us, encounter those parts of us which sometimes don't, it kind of seems ugly. Like again, like this needs to be a place of no judgment. Okay. At the bottom here is Angel de los Muertos. Okay, so again, you have to really think about people's traditions as well too, not being disrespectful. Cleanup time, you guys. I love this too because I see a lot of green here, so I feel like there's going to be money flowing in. Fairy of the divine hand is reassuring you that these decisions are being looked at. Don't become overindulgence in this situation. Again, there's toxicity here. You're taking a distorted view of this right now with that number 2. But this is somebody who's together. This is two people that's in a relationship together. It's cleanup time. It's time to like get rid of some of that extra baggage. Maybe something's hanging on too tight. Maybe something happened between the relationship that's only between the partners and only the partners know about it. And they have to face those things by themselves, like together or whatever. Okay. Again, it's time for spirit. So you guys have to remember that family order, that divine line of order, what's in front of you. What brought y'all together. Again, it's love. So whatever it is, that time for spirit, those things that make spirit happy. Okay. So Angel de los Muertos, this is transition to the spirit realm. So again, that's why I'm thinking somebody here has done something to either hurt themselves or they feel like they might hurt themselves. Okay, because sometimes what happens is we become dependent on people. So when we don't spend that time with that person, it can make us feel anxious, make us have anxiety. Okay, and that's understandable, especially if this person has always been a part of the picture. But at the same time, that's a permanent solution for problems that probably have been happening for a while now. Okay, but if there's something you can do to solve this situation without having to do something like that, that is what we're trying to look at here. Okay, because I do feel like this person has a lot of grief. They are holding things inside within themselves, within their soul, that they're working out. But you guys, there are some rainbow colors here. So I want you to, I feel like, that there is a rainbow on the way. Sometimes it tries different things. Like when Noah was on that ark, nobody believed him that he could create something so beautiful for his life. But during a tragedy, during a disaster, and just like those, the waves that's coming through Kentucky, they say natural disaster, but that is not natural. Okay, there's death is something that we cannot control. It does happen. Okay, but at the same time too, it's not natural in a sense that it is a part of our world. It's a part of our life, but in a way, just like those disasters are not natural. So if you're in love with somebody who's a disaster to themselves, just imagine what kind of disaster that could be to your life. Okay, so sometimes these readings get really heavy, you guys, and I don't ever know what the cards are going to say. Just like yesterday, the cards were talking about marriage, but today we're talking about somebody who's dealt with loss after loss after loss after loss. And it's really catching up with them. They feel like they don't have somebody to talk to. That's why I'm suggesting talking to a stranger, because really you don't want a stranger knowing all your business. But at the same time, you have to be able to at least talk or write again, that's why there's importance of writing. You guys, I know how difficult it is, but even if you just scribble, or if you just, I understand that all these things that are confusing in the world, because there is confusion in the world. And that's why we turn to the tarot as also to some of those divination tools that we can use to like pinpoint in areas in our life. Okay. So please don't hurt yourself. And then it says creating a touch point. So if this is to me, I feel like, see the dog. Okay. So part of the human consciousness is that dog turning into a lion. Okay, this is part of that human that silver cord that everyone's talking about, what the attachment that we all have towards each other. Okay, so when you're going through those feelings, you're not the only one. You really are not. It comes through like a wave, and sometimes we don't know where it comes from. But like they say, death happens in threes. Like, so it could have been some situation here too, that like now it's got you questioning your own self, got you questioning your own life, and it's like you want to be a part of them. But baby, like, I've dealt with those type of situations too, and it's like, if you could bring somebody back, you would bring your whole family back. You would bring everybody back if you could. Okay, we understand that. We do understand that. And it says create a touch point. So if you get to that point where you feel like, you want to cut yourself, or you want to hurt yourself, that's why it's time to pick up that pen and maybe just like cut some lines through the paper, or you punch a pillow, or certain things like that. Or exercise, because what happens is that it's some type of kinetics. It's like where you're releasing that energy. So those toxins are leaving your body. Okay, so when you're exercising, some of that negativity is actually leaving your body. Like here, it's really hot, so I'm just been pouring down sweat all day today. But again, that's a purpose of our bodies. Like, and sometimes, a lot of times, what happens is our bodies will feel things for us before we actually know what's going on with spirit. Okay, so you have to love your body. It's just a shell. It's just for now, and I'm sure you'll have a fire ass spirit body. But for right now, you need to create a touch point. So when you're dealing with those tight emotions, those heartfelt dealings where only the heart matters, where only you can care from the heart about this situation, it's really like you have to create a touch point. Okay, so to distract you from those feelings, because again, like, you are so important, and do not allow people, because that's most of the time what it's about. It's people hurting themselves because of other people. Because again, somebody could just drive it through you, and just like knowing that they could stop at any moment, and they don't, and they just keep and they'll just keep laying it on you thick. And that's why she's holding on to this botched egg, because she feels like every boundary has been crossed. Okay, she feels like she's been stabbed in the back too many times. He or she, I'm just reflecting on what I see in the photo. But this is the energy that I'm getting from the cards. So you guys, I'm sorry if I offend anyone during this reading. This reading is general, but take only what resonates for you. It is for all signs. Okay. So again, the M&M game. This is between man and machine. So if a lot of times, if those devices are causing you problem, like devices as they talk about in the Bible, and then also your electronic devices, okay, same thing. Like, you'll even hear it in rap music where they'll talk about, like how phones are evil, because you can text somebody and they'll leave you on read, and it doesn't even bother them. It's nothing, because they're so busy with their day, they have no time to even reflect on text messages. Okay, it has nothing to do with you. If you feel like you need to tell somebody how you feel, then more power to you, And I understand that it's easier for some people to say how they feel than it is for other people. So empaths, you have a really tough job here, because you will pick up on other people's energy. You will pick up on other people's feelings. You will pick up on other people's emotions. And you have to really be able to distinguish those thoughts and feelings towards yourself. Okay, so man and machine, you're not a machine. You are a person. You're a real person with real feelings. Okay? Time to get educated. And also too, self-education, doing your own private research as much as possible wherever you can find, because there's really not no places that you can actually do private research, and maybe you don't want everybody to see what you're researching. That's why it's so important to have encyclopedias. It's so important to have those elders in your family, because those old wives' tales have been passed down for so long. There's a reason why those old wives' tales are still here. Even when we're all blowing in the wind, them old wives' tales will still be here, okay, for the generations to come. So it's mindful tasting exercises. And it isn't food like comfort food. So if you're having like a lot of comfort foods, it's time to pick up on the fruits. It's time to pick up on those daily doses of vegetables, herbs, you guys. Just think like when you, on a hot summer day, the difference between having water, a watermelon, those fruits, juices, you know. So, and just think about how that inspires us and makes our bodies feel good, and that changes is happening within us, just like that. All because of energy, because when you eat, it's giving yourself energy. Okay, so mindful hand exercise. Remember, sometimes your hand will have to be held, and sometimes you will have to hold somebody's hand. Okay, but again, like once you make it to the top, make sure that you reach back down and grab those ones that were there for you, but don't give it over to somebody who wouldn't even, you know, cover you up in the cold while you're naked, worried if you've had anything to eat. Okay? Take a smell of coffee. Don't forget this touching point here, okay? I want you to remember your touching point here before your family starts hurting, because that too is carried on. And I'm not gonna, yeah, some of those same things get said over and over again, and it feels like it's mundane, but all it is self-destruction. So you have to realize what you do to your parents, what you do to your sisters, what you do to your brothers when you do something like that. This is experienced nature. We don't want to hear about it. That's the energy that I'm getting here. Okay, so you don't get flowers every day. It says experience nature. Go outside, pick you some flowers, put them in a beer bottle. I don't care what you put them in, and put them on the table, put them on the counter. Okay, do it for yourself. You'd be surprised what you will see out there. You know, stay away from the wasp nest. And too, a lot of times what happens too, those toxic people, those narcissists that we don't like to talk about, sometimes what they'll do is create chaos within their own lives, because they like to self-inflicting pain, not on just themselves, but others too. That's not you. You don't enjoy pain. All right. Anyways, guys, about us. This is about us. It's not about them. It's never about them. This is about you. Can you see that okay? And there's a park bench right there. That park bench is always there. So if you want to talk to these people that's crossed over, you're take that hour and sit on that bench with them. Sometimes you won't have to say anything at all. It's just being them. And of course their absence is filled. It's like you feel it, okay? It's felt. I'm sorry. My grammar is horrible, especially when I get emotional like that, because you have to think like that one Facebook quote or Instagram quote. It says, if you can sit on this bench with somebody for 1 hour, heck, man, me and my family would be sprawled out all the way across that bench. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you pick somebody for 1 hour, baby? That's all I'm saying. But I'm trying to think. I don't want to pull out any zodiac, because I don't want to like say this is who we're dealing with, and saying that in specifically with this energy here and this energy here, you know, I don't want to say who that person might be. So let's keep the zodiac out of it. Let's pull some moon messages, because my message might be coming across too weak. And I want to make sure that you're getting the moon messages. That's why there's the man in the moon, because the man in the moon is out there alone. Okay? All by itself. It's always hoping that somebody is coming to talk to it. Okay? Just thinking about those wavelengths and those frequencies. And everyone has their own resonant sound. You have a sound within the universe, your frequency. If you've ever heard mine kind of goes, but that's mine, okay? Just saying. We all have that frequency out there in the universe. So the universe does hear you, but it hears everyone too. And that's why it's so important. Like, you're so important because the universe cares for you. It's like all that stuff that's going on. The universe is for infinite. It's not just what's around us, what we just see for now. There is that great unknown. There is mystery in life. But work through your fears. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some hard work. If this is where you feel like setting these boundaries at, being brave, you know, God dang, I just feel like somebody's being really invasive. It says invasion here, like, yeah, they're really being invasive to those things that your morals, your code of life, and it's like they almost feel like they have control over you. There's some type of dominance here, and you need to take authority for your life. It's tough because, yeah, that might not be your personality. Maybe that's the type of person you're very submissive. You know, you kind of like to be told what to do. You feel like you're better alone most of the time than with somebody else. Again, like, okay, experience nature, mindful tasting exercise, the hand awareness exercise. What you do with your hands, don't get an idle hand. If you find yourself being bored, it's time to do something, create something new within your life. And that this touch point, it might be time to get a pet. Maybe all this time you didn't think you could get a pet and take care of them, but maybe it's time to get a cat, a dog, a fish, anything. You could, I'm sure animals, even though they can't talk back to you, they would love to hear your voice. Okay, that's how you know they're loyal. They're your best friends. Okay, because I understand that fear of not wanting. You think it's gonna happen again. This is just gonna happen again. That's why you're building yourself. You trusting your intuition, like your true being. What you know you was born to do. Your true destiny, okay? It's time to take action. There's a new moon on the horizons. Okay? That full moon is in Aquarius. So what do you need to release? This is a question I'll leave for you to answer for yourself. Okay, I'm going to try to answer any of those questions for you. It says, what do you need to release? And then the answers you need are coming. And prosperity lies ahead. Prosperity. Okay, so I just asked you two questions. This question is, what do you need to release? And this question here is, what do you feel like prosperity means to you? Is it generosity? Is it happiness? Is it financial success? Is it luck coming your way? Prosperity. Focusing on those virtues as well too. Because those are the toughest lessons in life, is having those virtues. Okay. Everything kind of is like, take a moment to breathe. Tarot cards. Pick up a deck of cards, you guys. All the gangs go fishing. I am Cali. From death comes rebirth. My ancestors are with me. They meet you, they greet you in their way spiritually. Those things which are spoken to the heart, spoken to the soul. And if we're cluttering ourselves with all this negativity, it's going to be kind of hard when we got that thick skin. Get those messages from the universe. And if they warn you, sometimes you have to take those warnings, baby. Because what happens is if you knew better, if you had already told yourself, I might be disappointed, again, this person is too tough for me. I'm not here to solve their problems. I'm just here to help them see the solution for their problems, to help them themselves, But again, at the same time, like, if we clutter ourselves with those type of things, we won't get the message. And please, like, trusting your gut instinct, your first initial thought on this person. Because if not, you're just going to keep going back and forth. And that's got to create just terrible, terrible outcomes. The Ace of Pentacles, good time just to kind of focus on your money makers. That those things which you are invested in that you get a great deal of joy and pleasure out of. Your Ace of Pentacles, realizing your age, having wisdom. Remember, wisdom comes with age and life experiences. I mean, you're one tough cookie. Whether you see it or not, your empire is being built. The Hangman. See, I just got another bad vibe from this. The bat, sickness. Somebody's in sickness. They've already put themselves inside the casket. They don't see themselves rolling out of the casket. They're just praying and wishing for their deathbed. Somebody's in the slumps. The red eyes are following them. All right. And then we have the Four of Wands. As soon as I said that, that's what first thing I see is eyeball here. So again, this could be someone who's going through a really tough awakening and protecting, not just using all your chakras, but protecting your energy as well too. With this Four of Wands, you could also be dealing with the fire element as well. Okay, so that wind catches the fire. You don't catch the wind on fire. The wind catches the fire on fire. So again, this person is like igniting the flames. They just keep making the flames bigger and bigger and bigger for you. But it's not the kind of eternal flame of love that you're looking for, which you will get from your ancestors, which you will get from spirit, which you will get from universe. Okay, so there's like this dark cloud that's over the world all the time. And we're just trying to get through there, okay? We're trying to bust out the walls and bring in the light. All right? This person, it could be young, maybe dealing with some trauma. I mean, not everybody's childhood was the best, but some of those are the best memories that we do have in childhood because we still kind of have our innocence, our purity about ourselves. Okay, there's a lot of things that we haven't seen yet, but keeping hope. Okay. So maybe this is somebody who's living too fast and they just need to slow down just a little bit. Okay. Safety first. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull out a Priestess of Light. I just feel like we just need that extra affirmation with this reading. It's like your body is a temple. You can use it in rituals. You can use it in prayer. You can use it in worship. Bringing your hands together. Sometimes that's what it takes. But you're not like where you're getting fist to fold, but where you're clenched fists and you're not having it anymore. Yeah. I just pulled out a photo from my brother's viewing. And then some of those things is with us forever. There's people that's with us forever. Okay, in spirit and heart. Nobody should be getting joy from somebody else's pain. Life already throws enough at us. That's my belief. And sometimes it doesn't matter what you believe. Those things will still happen. And we realize that as compassionate human beings. Priestess of Light, thank you for your knowledge. Thank you, Spirit, for our oracles. Thank you for this journey. Thank you for the days that are given. Okay. Friendship. Getting to know somebody. And as soon as I said, talk about my brother, here comes the number 14. Okay, again, a lot of times to me, those numbers is 14, paying attention into those awakenings, those times that you wake up in the middle of the night. Maybe you're not sleeping too good. Maybe some dreams are happening that's coming true. That's really not dreams. They're just nightmares. And you feel like you're living in a nightmare as well, too. But again, paying attention to the colors that you see in the photos, things that kind of, those messages are for you, what you see, look at the table. It's talking about friendship. Again, I feel like this is about meeting new people, getting to know yourself, support, fun, unity, and play. All right. So again, this life comes with challenges for us all, we all. So we're going to go to number 14. But this is why this importance of acceptance in what you are accepting. Okay. So the two smiling young women on this card look out over the beauty of their homeland in joyous appreciation. The profound kindred connection they share is clearly a wellspring of ongoing support and happiness. This card is telling you that it's an important time to reconnect with friends and loved ones in order to experience the camaraderie and joint intentions of your soul group. There is a powerful vibration that comes from a connection forged in shared history, philosophy, and loving experiences. It is a palpable yet often unspoken union that brings deep feelings of support. This may or may not be the family of your youth, but when the resonance of these individuals vibrate in harmony, innocence, and enjoyment, you can rest assured that it is the family of your soul. You may have been feeling the need for support lately. If so, let yourself turn to those you know who will allow you to express all your deepest desires and fears without judgment or derision. Unite with others of like mind so you can continue to support each other through good times and bad. This card also encourages you to get together with others for the simple intentions of fun and play. The times when you share these magical vibrations will spread the irresistible resonance of joy exponentially through your life and theirs. Always remember, you deserve to let go, to have fun, to come together with the happy souls that lift your energy and fill you with hope, comfort, laughter, and unbounded bliss. So, your affirmation for today, all right? If I had a pen up here, I think I would write down this affirmation for myself because, again, I'm going to have to write this down. I think it's important. It says, I open myself to the supportive connections around me. I join in the fun and joy that these loving friendships can bring. Okay? Because a lot of times what happens is we forget to have fun, or we remember like a lot of fun that was, or getting my butt kicked, but then like you realize later on that, hey, you got into a fight, you roughed it out, you know but you were all right, and then you came out of that a little bit stronger. Not saying go out there and fight, that's not what I'm talking about. Again, it says try to stay away from some of those things in the youth. You got what the Oracle and Priestess of Light is telling you, and then you got Montana Notes, sitting here telling you what the cards are saying. Again, please only take what resonates with you. But I love how the readings, like we'll go through the readings, and then eventually, Spirit affirms. Yes, this is exactly what's going on. So if we can take care of it now, there's more problems for others, and there's more problems, that come along the way that's done under the sun. But you guys, lots of love. Again, like fun, like we don't take the fun out of the situation. Enjoy the good times when they do happen, because they are in scarcity sometimes, it does feel like. But again, the world is full of wonder and there's lots to learn. Okay, so you guys, I appreciate your time and energy. I hope you have a blessed day. Thank you. And lots of sympathy as well too. Love.